Jard is sponsored by 5thegamer, so for all of your headset needs, go to 5thegamer.com and use discount code JARD20 at checkout to receive 10% off your next order. Jard is also partnered with XTiffy, so for all of your GTA resources, go check out xtiffy.com, that's XTIFFI.com. We do have our own website complete with a full episode catalog, merch, and more information about each of our cast members, so you can find that at jardpodcast.com. We are also on Patreon, so to become a patron, go to patreon.com/jardpodcast. Hello everyone and welcome back to Jard.
Why are we...
I've been working on my radio voice.
I wouldn't call that a radio voice. I think it's an after hours voice.
That's for the 1-900 Jard number. We're gonna start.
I've had some people comment on the podcast saying that my voice sounds very sensual.
Like that.
Welcome to season 4, y'all.
Yes.
We in season 4.
Season 4. Here, finally. Wow. Yikes.
So we're going to be doing urban legends
Hell
this
yeah.
season. Does everyone have their topics picked? I know Amber does, but I have not heard anything from you boys.
Mine's a one
Not
big
yet.
giant secret.
I'm still looking.
Okay, Ryan, I love you. I don't trust you to have secrets.
I feel like
I
he
haven't
doesn't
done it
have
yet.
one and he's lying.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. I know, I briefly know which ones I'm going to do. I just haven't put any research into it yet. So yeah, I was lying.
Excuse my cough.
It feels like we never really even had a break at all. It's like we were recording anyway every other week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it
think-
felt
Well, I mean,
weird
because we
not
video chat all the
recording.
time.
I was going to say, we were video chatting as well. The longest we went without recording was 4 weeks, but we were video chatting every week anyway, so it still felt like there was no hiatus, really. For us, anyway, but for the listener-wise, there would have been.
That and, like, we were still trying to, like, create bonus content. We were trying to get everything
Yeah.
settled with the website, so
Yeah.
it didn't really feel like we weren't working on the podcast, if that makes, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like it's been kicking my ass in. Ever since the website came out, it's like, it feels like a second job.
Yeah.
No,
It's been nonstop.
1,000%.
Like,
You've
it's like I
put
get home from working my 9 to 5, and then it's like immediately I'm going to looking at what we could do for the podcast, and like looking at like I'm an analytic fiend. Like I am looking at our analytics on the
Would never have
website, on the
guessed.
Patreon, on the Teespring, like at all hours of the day. I'm just like looking at the analytics and seeing, like, trying to find ways to boost them and different things that we could do. It's just like, holy shit, we have to get paid for this eventually, because it never stops. It never stops. By the way, if you are listening and you're a patron who is eligible for bonus episodes, if you have an idea for our next bonus episode, throw us a message or something, because we have to record our bonus episode here in a week or two.
Yep.
Because they come out on the 15th of every month.
Yep.
Oh, yes, of course, yes.
Okay, What else? I'm trying to say less. We are going to try to keep our episodes in a decent time frame now, y'all. No more 2-hour episodes.
We've taken note of that. We've taken note of that. 2 hours is too long.
Oh, and if you are a patron who qualifies for the monthly AMAs, shoot us a message with whatever questions you have for whichever cast member. I mean, you can choose just one, or you can choose all of us. It doesn't matter. I know that our patrons for AMAs this month, they didn't really have anything. I'm like, why did you get the AMA package if you weren't gonna ask us anything? Okay.
They could be possibly waiting for when they need a favor, and their question will be, "Hey, can you do this for me?" And it might be illegal. We don't know what we've signed up for.
Probably.
Oh, yeah. I was hoping for some good questions for this first one, but alas.
Ah, well.
Here we are.
It'll happen.
Yeah. We'll wait and see.
It's fine. It's fine. What else? What have we not mentioned?
No, I mean, we mentioned most things back in the previous bonus episode when we did the gift exchange. We mentioned most of it at the beginning then, you know, the launch of the site, the merch, etc., what we've been up to. So we don't other than that, we don't really have any further updates apart from the fact that we're now on TikTok and that's taking over our lives.
Ryan says it with such
for
like
some of
disgust, but like Ryan's been on it just as much as I have, so
I
know, and let's revert back to season 3, episode 1, Free Britney. Both you and Amber and I said specifically that we would never get TikTok because we just didn't want to use it, and now look at us, an entire season later, and Amber's removed it. Amber's done the thing that she said she was going to do.
Do not lump me in with you and Jess's nonsense. I said I would take it off my phone. I took it the fuck off my phone.
You did.
And I have not put it back since. I love y'all. I can't. It gives me PTSD from Vine. I cannot
I was going to say, you are a big hater for someone who was mad into Vine.
I know, I was mad into Vine. I was so into it. And I you know, looking back on it, it just makes me feel stupid. So, again, the PTSD,
Vine
like the
was
secondhand
amazing.
Embarrassment, I can't.
Vine was amazing.
It was, but
people
also
still quote Vines all the time.
They do, and I get it and stuff, but I'm good. I had my share when Vine was here. Vine is gone. I've had my young fun. I just want to be an old lady now.
No. I don't know about Ryan. I mean, we have like a podcast account, so it's like we all have the login if we want it. So like Ryan gets on whenever he wants to get on. I get on whenever I want to get on. I don't know about Ryan, but personally, I've had a lot of fun on there. Like they have all these different little challenges, especially like for your pets, where it's like, call your pet's name while they're right next to you and see how they react. It's just like stupid stuff. It's so much fun. But I almost wish that I had only had a TikTok for myself personally, because now that I created one for the podcast, you can't go back on that. And I want to delete it so bad because it has commandeered so much of my life. Like, I used to come home every day and I'd sit in front of my computer, do podcast things, turn on the TV, have something playing in the background, you know, just background noise. Now it's like I come home every day from work. I'm on the computer, I'm doing the podcast things. I turn my TV on like I'm going to put something on to watch. But what I'm actually doing is podcast things, phone in my hand, watching TikToks. And then the TV just sits there on, like nothing playing for hours while I'm like on and off my computer, holding my phone, like sitting on the couch, just watching TikTok.
and you know, I can relate to that, but only with YouTube. Like, I'll have the earpiece in my ear, and like I'll just have YouTube going, and it's all like it's either commentary or it's cooking or anything that my heart desires, and I don't want to do that with TikTok.
I think maybe why TikTok works for me is because my attention span is so bad. Like, Charles will come to me with his phone and he's got a video on there. It's like, you know, some cute dog video or something, and like I'll tap the screen just out of curiosity to see how long the video is. It's like 2 minutes and 47 seconds. I'm like,
Yeah. I'm like that.
but TikTok, it's always under a minute, and I'm like, I can do this. Like this is great for my attention span. Any longer than that, and I'm like, I'm just checked out mentally. I just can't do it.
See, I'm one of those. Give me one of those like 40 to an hour and a half minute expose exploiting some on YouTube, like exposing a YouTuber, or like I love that shit. I don't know why. I understand it's an incredible waste of time by looks on your faces. I understand. But I'm a for it. I don't know why I like it. Let me have my kink.
I'm not shaming
also,
it.
For our listeners,
I watch a lot of YouTube.
Well, I just thought about it when Amber mentioned this, but running back to season 3 real quickly, there is I don't know how long it's been on there. I don't know if it would be new or not. There's a documentary now on Hulu about Jeffrey Epstein. I think it's called Who Killed Jeffrey Epstein. I'm pretty sure it was not on there whenever I was doing my research, so pretty sure it's new. And there is a Britney Spears documentary coming out on February 5th about her whole situation. So if you liked those episodes, then you guys can check it out.
That could be a bonus episode idea. We watch it and then give our thoughts on it. Now that we know so much more information.
True.
Ideas.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so what have you got in store for us today, Jess?
What I've got in store for us and our listeners is that Ryan did the Bus It Challenge on TikTok. Okay, so anyway, my topic today...
I did do that. I did do that. Yeah.
I will say both y'all...
Yours was really good.
It was. Both you and Jess have been thirst trapping, like, a lot here lately, and I am... for it. My bisexual heart is happy. Like every time I open my phone, I'm like, oh, Jess sent a picture. Fuck yeah.
Oh god. No, Ryan's, yours was really good, despite what everyone in the group chat said, because all the ones that I've seen of guys doing it so far, they've not been popping their booties like the group chat was grilling you about. Okay.
Yeah,
all the ones I've seen of guys, they're literally just like standing there or just sitting there, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, done with TikTok. So this season, as we mentioned before, we are doing urban legends.
Ooh.
I have chosen a legend that is local to both Amber and myself. I guess, I don't know about the guys, but we were trying to do, like, more local things.
I have local-esque, but...
Yours kind of like, yeah, okay, that's for another day. So, mine takes place near Charlotte, North Carolina, which is about 2.5 hours away from me and Amber.
Yeah.
Anything notable about Charlotte that I should mention to kind of pique the listeners' attention? I mean, it's Charlotte. It's one of our biggest cities, so.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you guys about the monster of Lake Norman, otherwise known as Normie.
No. So it went from scary to not scary like that.
I don't know why they call him Normie and not Norman. I mean, I guess it could be confusing, but Normie sounds kind of dumb.
It sounds like what us Aussies would do.
I was about to say, I feel kind of dumb because this is my first time hearing about this, and this is not that far from us.
And as you listen to this information, you'll continue to wonder how you did not know about this. Because, yeah, okay. I'll go ahead and cite my sources. I got, the biggest one is LakeNormanMonster.com. That one, it's got a place for you to submit encounters or sightings. There's a whole section where you can read other people's submissions. There's, like, a history of the lake, a history of, Normie. There are photos people have submitted, which half of them kind of look photoshopped. But that's the biggest one. That one I think has been in operation since the early 2000s. And then there was boatwestportmarina.com, cryptids.fandom.com, charlottestories.com, exemplore.com. It's exemplore.com, wral.com. Only in your state. I did a lot of research, you guys.
You did. Only in your state.
onlyinyourstate.com. I watched American Monsters. There was an episode on Normie, and also it was kind of a dual episode. There's a Lake Champlain Champ, and then Lake Norman Normie. That's on Amazon Prime. And one of the most notable parts of my research is that I went on to Spotify to see if there were any podcasts that talked about Normie. And I turned up a couple results. There were maybe 3 or 4. I want to say 3 results. I listened to the first one. It didn't really talk about him that much, but when the guy did talk about Normie, he was like, I don't buy it. Anyway, moving on.
Right.
That was it for that one. So the second one I listened to, it was more about like North Carolina urban legend folklore or whatever. They touched on Normie for a couple minutes, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. But the last one I listened to, it was called #Creaky, and they did I think it was their first episode. They did an entire episode on Normie, and I got a ton of information from that. I messaged one of the hosts after listening to it. I was like, I loved listening to this. Like, I don't listen to podcasts ever. Like, it's so awkward because people, they hear that I do a podcast, and then they're like, what are your favorite podcasts to listen to? And I'm like, mine? I don't listen to any. So I messaged them and I told them they did a great job because I really enjoyed it, and there were not really any other podcasts that talked about Normie to such a degree. But yeah, so they've been really nice. So shout out #Creaky. Okay. Let me get back to my notes here. Okay. So before I dig into the history of Normie and Lake Norman, I'll tell about my personal experience with Lake Norman. So, God, I want to strangle myself with the ums. Okay. So, there's me with the so's again.
You're professional. You got this.
Okay, girl. Back in fall of 2013, when I was still living with you, Amber, my dad and stepmom, they rented a house on the shore of Lake Norman. I think it was for the week. I'm pretty sure it was for the week. Anyway, I couldn't join them. I don't remember if I had to work or what was going on, but I couldn't join them during the week, so they invited me to stay, or to come down for a day, which it wasn't that bad because it's only like a 2-hour drive, so it's a day trip. But before that, somehow I had never heard of Lake Norman, like Amber. Never in my life heard of Lake Norman. So when I got there, the 3 of us decided to go out on the lake for the day because my dad had rented a boat, so we figured, beautiful day. It was like October, so Amber, in October here it's about 1,000 degrees, so it was a perfect lake day.
Okay, so that had to be like right before I got married, or
yeah. It was a really weird period of time. It was either September or October, and I don't know if you remember. I vaguely remember. Something happened to my phone, and I didn't have a phone for a period of time. Like, I don't know if my phone broke or what, but yeah. So I drove 2 hours to Lake Norman phoneless.
Okay.
That was smart.
I think I'm remembering this day.
I remember bits and pieces of it, but
because I remember the vague concern of, she's going all the way there without a phone. What the like? How am I gonna know if she's okay? Like,
I think I cracked my phone or something. Anyway, so we were getting ready to head out onto the lake on the boat, and my dad, he kind of stopped me and he pulled out his phone. And he's like, "Hey, look at this," and he was gonna show me some pictures he had taken during one of the first days at the lake, and he's like. He shows me his phone. He's like, look at what we found on the dock the other day. And I'm like, okay. And so then, okay, you guys can open your group chat now. I sent these guys the pictures that my dad showed me this day. And he proceeded to show me pictures of a small animal that had been eviscerated.
Wow.
Literally torn limb for limb. And its remains were lying at the edge of the dock just before the water. The only thing that was left of this animal was its head, a claw, and its intestines.
Hold on, wait.
As you guys can see in the picture.
Oh, that's a head. Oh, that's a head.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It looks like it could be like a beaver or a woodchuck or something based on its teeth, but I don't really know. Which I also noticed whenever I was digging up these pictures to send to you guys, I happened to notice that any bit of fur that you see in these pictures, it looks like it's soaked.
Yeah,
like it's been in the water.
drenched,
Yeah.
So, I mean, any number of animals, I guess, could have done this to this other animal. But it's just kind of strange that it was on the edge of the dock, right next to the water, and it looked wet. Like it just came out of the water.
Fresh out, yeah.
So yeah, that was all that's left of this animal. That's it.
Okay.
Amber, you have a question?
Did you say? Oh, hold on. Did you say that this is a lake, right? You were near a lake. That this
Yes.
came out.
Oh, there goes my camera. Oh shit! Let me play "Ring Around the Rosie," trying to find my camera.
Make sure you hit the right
I
one
mean,
and not your audio.
you do that while I try to figure out what lake animal would have done this to this beaver thing.
I mean, that's literally been torn apart.
That's insane.
It needs a lot of excessive force. I know that much to be able to do that to flesh.
Yeah, that's okay, but what the lives in a
Like
lake
I said,
that would do
it could have
that?
been any number of animals in the air.
It
Well,
could have been.
I'll get into that, but it doesn't. It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make sense. No matter how. I mean, like I said, anything. I don't know if a fox could have done that. Maybe a wolf or something. I don't know what animals are indigenous to the forest in that area. So it's not like there are not alternatives as to what could have happened to it. It's just circumstantial, I guess, with its
just
location
the way that
and
it's only pieces like that.
Yeah.
Normally, like if a wolf or something like that, you've generally still got sort of part of the carcass left.
Or
it's weird. It's
intact,
like
head,
but with a
leg,
yeah.
and its guts.
It was like that didn't really make sense to me either. I'm like, what animal is this picky? Like, you're not going to eat the head, a claw, and the intestines? Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's absolutely strange. But yeah, my dad showed me those pictures right before we went out on the boat. I was repulsed, as you guys are. But my dad, he kind of laughed, and he is like, there's a lake monster here, And I kind of, like, shrugged it off. He said it kind of, like, in passing. Like, I just thought he was joking because of the pictures and what he had found on the dock. Once again, I had never heard of Lake Norman, let alone a monster in Lake Norman. So I thought it was a joke. Like, my dad, he jokes around like that. But after that, we took the boat out onto the lake, and I didn't really think anything else about what he said about the lake monster. Because, like I said, thought he was just around.
Yeah.
Instead, I was kind of, like, intrigued because when we were out on the boat, he began to tell me the history of Lake Norman. And he told me that it was a man-made lake. It was made back in the 60s. And it was made after a dam was built, and they flooded that area to create the lake. But before that, there had been a town where Lake Norman now is. So there is an entire town under Lake Norman.
Wow.
Some of the graves, obviously there was a town. They had a cemetery, at least one cemetery. I don't know about multiples, but some of the graves were transported somewhere else. Some were not. So it's kind of like a spooky little...
Wow.
But yeah, I thought it was cool, but also creepy that we were riding a boat out on this lake, and there was a whole ghost town under us.
Yeah,
So
that's
quick
kind
in
of...
the
question:
water.
how big is this lake?
Oh, I'll get to that.
Okay.
But it's interesting because as I was putting these notes together and kind of recollecting that day to put these notes together, I remembered that at some point when we were out on the lake, the boat that we were in took damage. And so what happened, we had just decided to go back to shore. We'd been out for quite some time. My dad was like, okay, let's just go back to the lake house and like chill out. So we were still quite a ways out into the lake. It's not like we were in a shallow part of the lake. Like, we were still out there. We hadn't been going, I guess, maybe 5-10 minutes back to shore, and we hit something. I don't know what.
It was a casket.
Oh my god.
Wow.
No, but
I'm sorry. Continue.
we hit something. It was such a big impact that it like rocked the whole boat, and my dad like immediately pumped the brakes to see what happened. And he kind of like, he looked over the edges of the boat trying to see where the impact happened and to see if there'd been any damage. And then he noticed that, I don't know how many propellers a boat have. I don't know if this was the only propeller or if there were multiples, but at least one of the propellers was damaged, like severely damaged. Like, my dad was worried that we were not going to make it back to shore damaged. It could have been a number of things, honestly, that did that. It's weird that happened like out in the depths of Lake Norman and not like a sandbar or somewhere shallower.
Yeah.
It could have been any number of things, but many other people who have encountered Normie have described him hitting their boat or hitting their jet ski, hitting their paddleboard, knocking them for a loop. So, I don't know. That's just my story with Lake Norman.
Yikes. I
I don't know what happened. And I texted my dad today, because it was today I was putting these notes together, like kind of like compiling all of them, and that's when I remembered the propeller thing, and I texted him, and I'm like, didn't something happen to the boat when we were out on the water that day? And he was like, yeah, the propeller got damaged. And I was like, I think I asked him how it happened, and he said, we hit something. And I was like, oh, what if it was Normie? And he said, okay.
Knowing your dad, that was a perfect response.
I'm like, that wasn't really an okay question, but
Okay.
okay.
Oh, wow.
So, going off of that, just some quick facts about Lake Norman. It is North Carolina's largest man-made lake. It covers more than 32,000 acres. It has more than 520 miles of coastline, which is more coastline than North and South Carolina combined.
Whoa.
Okay.
It stretches more than 34 miles north to south. Its average depth is 33 feet, but the deepest points are over 100 feet deep. Over a dozen different species of fish can be found in the lake. And as I mentioned before, there is a lost city under Lake Norman, as well as a crashed plane somewhere. So
Where'd the plane come from?
I'm gonna totally butcher this next section. So I've kind of like divided, because mine is gonna be a continuation series. I'm not doing a different topic each episode for myself this season. My entire thing this season is gonna be Lake Norman. So I've divided it into 3 different sections. This one it's gonna be, history and the beginning of encounters with Normie. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But I'm going to totally butcher this section because I am stupid. But so before Lake Norman had ever even been thought of, basically, the area was occupied by an Indian tribe or Native American tribe, the Eswataroa. Amber, can you help me with this? Do you know how to pronounce this?
If you send me the if you
Eswataroa, 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 commonly referred to
ESWAT.
Taroa, but they're more commonly referred to as Catawba Indians.
Oh, then just say that.
Okay. Well, that area was occupied then.
I'll give you a
by
pass.
them.
I'll give you a pass.
How do you say it?
I'm pretty sure you were very close. It looks like Eswatawopa. Or what's that? Continue. It's fine.
Okay, anyway. So they occupied that area that Lake Norman is in for hundreds of years before that. Their tribe name, Eswataroa, means Great River. The Eswataroa, God, I hope I'm saying this right. They once told a story. They passed this story down generations. It was about a man who canoed across the Catawba to hunt, and he noticed a huge animal in the water. He went over to investigate it, and it was a giant snake. As witnesses described it as a giant snake.
And my feet now come off the ground. Thank you.
He took his bow and arrow out to shoot it, or to kill it. He shot an arrow at this animal, which did not kill it, but made it mad. And the animal killed him.
Oh, surprise.
So, according to legend, this animal would also sometimes sweep people into the river and drag them out and kill them as well. In 1963, that's when Lake Norman was created, when the Duke Power Company dammed the Catawba River to generate hydroelectric power. Sometime after its creation, I don't have a date on this one, but there was a crew from the Army Corps of Engineers. They claimed to see a giant catfish that could have swallowed a human while making repairs to the dam. They refused to return to investigate.
Oh yeah, because catfish can grow. I don't know what they can grow to, but I know it's huge.
Some of the residents at Lake Norman have heard stories and been told that close to the dam at least, there are catfish the size of Volkswagens under there.
Oh,
Which doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But yikes.
Yeah. So there's that. So, moving forward into the 1970s, after Lake Norman was created, there was a man in Clemens who, his story's going to dump over into my second episode, but he said that, quote, in the late 1970s, when my grandfather was still alive, he used to tell the grandkids about how he was a foreman in the 1930s for a mobile lumber company that had the job of clearing trees from the valley that is now Lake Norman. Mom grew up as a cook for the camp, and she always swore that when they flooded the valley, several settlements, complete with houses, barns, etc., were just left on the bottom when the lake was filled. I didn't think much about it, but Mom said that when they started flooding the lake, people started dumping buckets of fish into the lake so that the lake wouldn't be bare of fish. Now, end quote. But I'll get into possibilities for what Normie is during a later episode. There is a nearby power station very close to Lake Norman, so I'll let you guys.
I'm getting flashes
marinate
of
on
Simpsons
that
here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. I immediately just thought of Godzilla. That's immediately the first thing I fucking thought of.
So,
I just had pictures of Homer fishing, trying to catch that big fish. Or the three-eyed fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a radiation thing or what. I don't know. But another interesting thing that I read, I didn't put it in my notes. Some of the first settlers in the Lake Norman area before it was a lake, I mean, besides the Native Americans that were already here, but some of our first European settlers that came to Lake Norman, or the area, they were from Scotland. And if you think about it, what's the correlation here? I mean, Nessie is in Scotland.
Yeah.
So some people, what I read, some people have a theory that when the Scottish came over and settled in the Lake Norman area, they brought baby Nessie with them, which I don't buy that. I just think that it's interesting that the folklore is the same. Like, you have Nessie in Scotland, and then the first settlers at Lake Norman were Scottish, and there's a lake monster there all of a sudden.
Come on, Nessie, we're going to take you to
your
your new home.
Normie.
Yeah.
Nessie, Normie. Yeah.
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 there are various different, I guess, origins for Normie, because a lot of people don't think that it's some prehistoric creature because the lake is man-made. So if there's something in there now, it had to be something that became after the lake was created.
Yeah.
But according to the Catawba tribe, or I don't know, I'm so sorry if I'm being offensive. Would I say Catawba tribe, Amber, or would I say the S?
Look, I'm not going to try and pretend like I'm not going to try and pretend like I'm a good Native American. My dad's white. I've been whitewashed a good amount of my life, so...
I'm trying to see, because I know I had more information about the Eswataroa accounts of Normie.
Now, from what I just looked up, it does sound like you're pronouncing that right.
Good. But, I mean, some people believe that Normie lived in the Catawba River before, because of the legends that were passed down by the Native Americans in the area.
Right.
Because of this big, giant monster in the Catawba River. So, I don't know.
So how big was the river beforehand? Don't know.
I did not even look that up. It wasn't even until today that I heard this about Normie living in the Catawba River, honestly.
I'm guessing if they, had to row across it, it's a decent size then.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But
yeah, if there's evidence that it was around before the lake, then yeah, it could be quite old.
There is something I'll get into in a different episode, but there have been alligators removed from Lake Norman before. You know what?
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and mention it now, and I'll just fill in some information for the next episode, but I didn't want to leave that like that. So let's see, where is that info at? I think it was in the early 2000s. Yes, in 2000 there were many reported alligator sightings at the lake, and later that year a video was released to news media depicting a 5 to 6 foot alligator in the lake. Later on, 2 different alligators were discovered, but no one was able to explain how they came to be there or even survive in the lake. They were removed by wildlife officers. So I don't even know if Normie would be an alligator, because that's not, from what I've read on this, that lake is not a suitable living environment for alligators. Because people didn't even know how these ones that they found there were living or surviving.
Okay, but bitch, do you remember the movie Lake Placid?
Yeah.
Brave.
Betty White, old ass, feeding cows to an alligator.
That is what the that makes me think of.
I forgot about that.
The thing is, all these accounts and all these sightings and encounters and things like that, I mean, people have been scared when they've actually seen Normie, or he's flipped their kayak, or whatever, but I haven't actually found anything where someone died because of him. I mean, there have been a lot of drownings at the lake, admittedly, but I'm pretty sure that's par for the course with any lake.
Yeah, any large deep body of water that's
yeah. So I didn't really find anything besides the Native American guy. I didn't really see anything modern about people dying because of Normie.
Right.
I don't know. But I mean, if that was him that got that poor little beaver.
Well, if it is an alligator of sorts, I was thinking back when you first mentioned it. I was thinking to the photos that you sent us, and a beaver compared to an alligator. I'm sorry, it could eat it whole. It'd have it all. It wouldn't leave scraps, essentially.
It's almost like whatever ate it got it when it was in the water, and then threw the pieces up onto the deck. or the dog.
The only thing I
It's
can
so
think
weird.
of. You ever seen like your dog go absolutely ham on a chew
Yeah,
toy
I was
where it
just
just
thinking
goes
that as well.
like that, just back and forth,
Yeah.
back and forth, back and forth. That's the only thing I can think of. The fact that they would have parts of it essentially fly all over the place.
Okay,
So-
and this might be the Southern coming out, but the only other thing that I could think of that would like even strobe like body parts kind of like that would be like a buzzard or something, but I don't know.
Like I said,
I
the
don't know.
whole scene of these pictures, it's all circumstantial, but it's just, you know,
Yeah.
it's circumstantial. It's like, that looks a little too weird.
Yeah.
You know, the
nose.
setting, like the location, the body parts, the state of the body parts, the fact that they're wet, they're on a dock, they're right at the edge of the water. Make it make sense.
Yeah, it could go either way is what's kind of up about that. So not knowing the answer. Yeah, I didn't know that you were going to send those pictures.
Yeah.
Did he say the parts were really spread out, or they were close together, or
They were fairly close together, I believe.
Okay, well, see, and that leads me to less likely believe my buzzard theory because, I mean, they'll throw those.
I mean, it was not a big dock. This is like an individual dock. Like, it was for their lake house that they had rented specifically for their lake house. So it was not a big dock. It was
Right.
for like 1 or 2 boats, and that was it.
Right.
So it was not big or long at all. So yeah.
Nice and creepy.
Very. Head scratcher.
Very creepy. I had something else I was going to add. I don't remember what it was, though. But if it's important, I'll remember it. Yeah, and in my upcoming episodes, most of my second episode it's going to be about encounters and sightings. And I know what it was. If this thing was an alligator, don't you think people would consistently see it as being an alligator? If they were to, like, if they saw it and reported it, it's like, you see an alligator, you're pretty sure it's an alligator.
It's pretty distinctive.
Yeah.
Like, there's not really anything else that looks like an alligator.
There is nothing else
That's
you can get it
crocodile.
misconstrued with. This is just
Alligators be alligating, you know?
Yeah, so
big lizard.
I don't know what this thing is. I just really don't. So, yeah, but yeah, like I said, my second episode, I'm going to be digging like way into the eyewitnesses, the encounters with Normie. I think we might have a little bit more history there. And then the third episode, it'll be more encounters and also theories for what Normie could be, or
Nice.
what the local legends and theories are about Normie. So yeah, does anyone have any questions?
No, but you got my head a
I'm
scratching.
excited. I'm really
wait to hear
kind
more.
of...
Yeah.
I don't understand how this is my first time hearing about any of this. That's me right now.
I had never heard about it until I went down there at all. I'd never even heard of Lake Norman, and it's the biggest lake in North Carolina, so either I'm stupid or this thing is a really huge, well-kept secret.
Babe, if you're stupid, I'm stupid, because again, this is my first time hearing it too, so we will be stupid together.
Oh, yeah. Now I can share the awesome promo art I made for my episodes.
You can.
I'm very excited. It took me like 5 hours on Photoshop. And it's not even that good.
I doubt that.
it'll be fine.
Yeah, wow, that's I want to know more now. I want to know more. And if I go and do my own research, it's going to be classed as cheating, so I'm going to have to wait.
Yeah, put your phone down and let me talk.
I don't know why I was wincing like I had it. I don't. It's down there. I'm not even touching it.
Anyway.
Oh, wow.
Well, that'll do it for this week for me.
I would say
Gotta
so.
keep some of this in the chamber.
Aye.
Give everyone Urban Legends blue balls.
Oh, that's gonna catch on, isn't it?
Informational blue balls. The good thing about these shorter episodes is that it's less time for my camera to f*** me over.
Mm-hmm.
Like this episode, it only happened one time.
I mean,
If
just
we
the
gone
one
for
time.
45 more minutes, then I might have cut out 2 or 3 times.
Most likely.
Okay, so next on the chopping block is Amber.
Who's next? Wait, that's just.
No, I'm out of here, she reckons.
Emma's like, no, not me, not me.
That was the most perfectly timed lag I have ever seen in my entire life. Oh my god.
That was brilliant. It just, comedic timing at its finest, right?
Amber. Amber.
What did I miss? What did
She's
I miss?
frozen.
She's frozen. I don't know if she's gonna be able to hear it straight away, but
No,
my
she's moving.
God.
What did I
Amber,
miss?
I literally said you were next on the chopping block to present your subject.
Oh, there's the audio.
Oh, what? Is that when I cut out?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm
You
out of here.
were like,
like,
this shit, I'm out.
I'm
Nope, I'm not
gone.
next.
I'm
Bye.
gone.
I'm out. No. Yeah, I am next. And I'll go ahead and be honest. 2 of my subjects, I'm like 3/4 to halfway, like halfway to 3/4 into research on. So it's going to be a toss-up. Whichever one I get finished first is the one I'm going to cover. And that very last one, which is the one that's very local to us, which I've roped you into an adventure on coming soon.
yes.
I
I can't
want
wait to
to
TikTok that.
Yeah, I want to save that one for last. And because I only have one person right now that has a personal experience. I tried to ask Mom. She said, "F that shit." She was like, "I don't do that white people shit," is pretty much what she said.
Yeah. It's like I asked Paige to go with us too, and she said, quote, "Yikes, hard pass." And I was like, it's just a light. It's just a light. Like, what are you... Oh, sorry. I'm sitting here giving you away.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're
anyway.
fine.
How is that giving
I
it
am-
away?
Because Amber said very local to us. It's like,
Yeah.
put the pieces together. But, yeah, so...
Which eventually I am going to end up asking Facebook, hey, if anyone has an experience, hit me up. But yeah, I want to save that one for last. But my very next one for next week, it's either going to be one or the other. It's either going to be a big thing or a slightly personal thing to me. So...
Okay.
Well, I want to go for that last one. However, I want someone else to go with us to film. And also because that's scary.
Do you not think I would protect you, baby?
You are 4'5".
I know how to shoot a gun.
I think I might ask Charles to go with us.
I'm okay with that. I was going to say I could ask Alan to go with us.
Yeah, let's take them in.
Yeah, we can take the boys. They'll be fine.
Alrighty, well, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Oh, wait, I don't have to because we have a pre-recorded message.
You don't have to do that no more.
Ooh.
Okay, well, we'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.